Hey, I'm Michelle.
And I'm Sandy. We're the hosts of Wines to Find podcast and our YouTube channel.
That's right. And if you enjoy the content of this video, we'd like for you to give us a thumbs up.
And hit the bell so that you can subscribe.
That's right. And also be sure to check out our other social media platforms. We're on Instagram as @Wines to Find Podcast. And we're on pretty much most places that you find your podcasts as Wines to Find Podcast. Check those podcasts out. They're really super fun.
They are. So Michelle, what we have here today is a follower question. We have been asked by a couple different people about orange wine and what all that's about. So I went to my trusty wine store and found this bottle of wine. The wine store lady recommended this bottle of orange wine because she called it an entry level to orange wine. Sometimes orange wines can get a little funky, so she said this one is a good entry level wine.
We need a good entry level wine.
We do. So let's go ahead and look at this wine.
Okay.
Isn't it a gorgeous color? You don't like the color?
No, yeah, I do. I'm looking. I would say,
and they call it amber too.
I was about to say orange is a misnomer for this particular
Well,
wine.
this is actually called amber wine,
Okay.
and it's the 2000 Leagues. It's actually from Spain, which means 2,000 leagues. I don't know if that's exactly
20,000.
20,000 leagues, and it's an amber wine. So let's go ahead and
Ooh,
it smells. It's got some.
it smells almost like interesting.
It smells almost baked. I went ahead and tasted. Sorry. It tastes like it does. It tastes like baked fruit almost.
Oh, that is it's different.
It is very different. You know who we need to talk with about this?
Well, the only person that I can think of that knows a lot about orange wine is our friend Jim.
Yes,
Jim
he does.
was on episode 25 of Wines to Find. So let's just call him.
Sure, yeah, go ahead. Give him a call.
Yeah, let me see. Hey, Jim. It's Michelle from Wines to Find. How are you? Yes, Sandy's here too.
I'm here, Jim. Hi.
So we are sitting here sipping on some amber wine, and we thought, who do we know who knows a lot about orange wine? Yeah, of course you. So could you just do us a really quick favor and send us a quick video with just about everything you know about orange wine?
Or at least a little bit.
I want everything. All right. Okay. Talk to you later, Jim. We'll look forward to it. Bye. All right. So Jim is going to send us a video with everything he knows about orange wine.
Excellent.
An English writer got a hold of the concept and coined the term orange wine. And that was really the beginning of everything. And orange wine today is something that is just a wonderful experience, an opportunity. And anyone who's into wine should really make themselves aware of it and avail themselves of this magnificent type of juice.
Well, tell us about that, Jim. So this English guy writes an article. There's got to be more to it than that.
Yeah, there has to be a backstory.
Right.
So let's talk for a minute about the genesis of amber or orange wine. Back in the 1990s, no one had ever heard the term. And actually, there was a fellow winemaker in northeast Italy in the Friuli region by the name of Jasko Gravner, who was pretty highly regarded as a winemaker. His family had been there for generations, and he had adopted all the latest techniques and equipment, but he had a gnawing dissatisfaction with the product. Even though other people said he was making wonderful wine, he was unhappy with it. He didn't feel that it really communicated the essence of the land or of the culture. And so in his quest to figure out what he could do to improve his wine, he decided to take a month-long trip to California, figuring this was a place where new ideas and new thoughts were available to him. So he traveled from Northern California to Southern California. It took over a month. Visited dozens of wineries and went home disappointed. He hadn't found what he was looking for.
Well, I can't imagine going to California and coming home disappointed. But
No.
I guess it happens. So what happened next?
Yeah, what did he do? How did this precipitate from that?
In talking with a friend and fellow winemaker back home in Friuli, his friend suggested that perhaps he should go to Georgia, the country of Georgia, and see what they had been doing for a very long time in their unique method of winemaking. And though Georgia was difficult to visit at the time because it was still basically in the throes of throwing off the chains of Soviet occupation.
All right, Jim. So now we're talking about communism? I feel like we've gone a little sideways from the wine.
With a couple of years of patience, he was able to get into the country and connect with some of these winemakers. And they were using a technique that they had used for 8,000 years of making terracotta vessels and sinking them into the ground, crushing the grapes, putting them in, skins, stems, seeds, everything, and just letting them macerate and ferment with no intervention whatsoever, capping the whole thing off and leaving it for a year, year and a half, 2 years, depending on the circumstance.
Come on, Michelle. See, that's why. If the communists had not opened up and they threw those chains off,
communist
threw
chains
the
off.
chains off, then we would not have ever have known about the wine behind
No,
that wall.
8,000 year
8,000 years.
process.
So we are so glad they came
They're
into the
so glad that happened.
and shared the information.
That's right.
So the first time that someone opened one of these qvevri, as they're called, and poured a glass of wine from this great vessel, this beautiful amber-colored liquid, Grosvenor realized that he had found the answer, that this wine certainly portrayed the locale. It certainly smelled differently. It told a story of the earth. It told a story of the grape. It told a story that Grosvenor was looking to tell. On the spot, he ordered half a dozen of these qvevri and had them shipped to northern Italy. A few of his friends saw what he was doing, and they formed a little group and started doing some of these wonderful kinds of orange wines, and then it spread to Sicily, and then it spread to other parts of Italy and to Spain and to France. And
Well, that was just such an interesting summary of orange wine.
It was.
And Jim's knowledge of it. And we so appreciate Jim giving us that little
Yes,
lesson.
cheers to Jim.
Cheers to Jim. Thank you so much. And cheers to orange wine, or amber wine as this is. So
Yes.
they range, as long as they're made in the qvevri, or
It's also called an amphora, and what they do is it's terracotta, and they put it down into the ground.
shaped like
And
an
it's
egg.
shaped like an egg, and sometimes, not always. If it's some locations don't always put it in the ground, but if it's old world, they do put it in the ground. So it's that amphora that they put, and it creates this color when they put the skins of the white grapes,
They
the
put everything in, as
seeds,
Jim
the
said.
stems, everything in here, and that's what creates the tannins, just like with a red wine. So it has those tannins inside it. Now, the reason why this is not as acidic is because the terracotta helps to reduce the acidity. So you kind of have to really watch the length that you're doing it. The winemaker has to determine exactly how and what they want to do. But
This has been not for long, right?
this 20,000 leagues was produced in an amphora for about 4 days with the stems and the leaves and all that good fun stuff.
And that's why it's a
And
lighter
that's why
color.
it's a light orange,
Had it
not
spent
really,
more
really
time.
dark. And the grape varietal on this is Chardonnay.
Oh, well, I like a Chardonnay. I will say it does not taste like a traditional Chardonnay.
It does not taste like a traditional
You would
Chardonnay.
not, you wouldn't go and think, oh.
I think it, like I said earlier, I think it tastes a lot like baked fruit.
Well, and the notes are apples, dried orange peel. I definitely get the sense that it's more of a
feels-
dried fruit or
that's a good-
baked or something more cured.
It is. It's not like a fresh berry taste
Not
or
that
a fresh.
bright acidity.
No, it doesn't have that at all. That's what when I first tasted it, that's what I thought. Oh, it tastes like a baked apple pie to me.
It really does. It does, but not sweet.
It's not sweet. No.
But just that hint of that essence of being baked.
That's what I feel like it is.
Quite
But
tasty.
some of these can get a little funky, like the like our wine store keep said. And this one is supposed to be a good entry level. It's only been about 4 days with that maceration.
So this might be a good entry level to taste
if you want to
it,
taste it, see if you like it,
If
and
it's
then
not
you
for
can go
you.
further. But so this is orange wine.
Well, yes, it is. But do we want to talk about whether or not we like orange wine?
You mean rate it?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead. What do you think?
I think it's interesting enough to have another glass, maybe. I don't know if I'd be running out for another bottle.
This is the second time you've had orange wine.
This is better than the first time. The first time we had it, we were like, oh, this is just fatty, and then now I feel silly because it's 8,000 years old. It's not a fad, but it's new. It was a new concept to me, and I tried it and I didn't like it. I think it was probably on that funky level, and it was really orange. And this is more palatable to me. So I do find it more palatable to me than the previous one that I had. But I'm not really gonna. I wouldn't be buying a case for sure. I'm not sure I'd buy another bottle, but I may have another glass. So that's probably 2.5 or 3 for me.
Okay, all right. Well, this is the first time I have ever had orange wine. I have not had it before. I really had not even heard of it until I guess our conversations with Jen. I knew about it, but I had not known about it for very long. And I must say, I'm not a big Chardonnay fan, so it didn't start off well for me to begin with.
Yeah.
And it tastes very baked.
It's
I will finish this glass, but I don't foresee myself going and buying it. Maybe if I'm out at a restaurant or something and they have an interesting looking glass there, then I would. So Jim, I am sorry. I know you love orange wine. Maybe I just haven't had a good one yet.
Need to, and he did send us a bunch of, a whole list of things to try after our episode. And so we do want to dive into that and try some of those that maybe
I think we may just not have gotten there yet.
Maybe not. Maybe we need to mature our taste a little bit.
Yeah.
But it is a natural process. And
it's very
natural. Very close to the earth and traditional. So if you're looking for that, this is a great option to try.
It really is.
So anyway, we hope that you enjoyed this video. If you do, remember to give us that thumbs up and keep on following us because we do push out new content every week.
We do.
And we hope that you'll join us next time on
Wines to Find.